We're going to implement everything that we have mentioned so that we can share risk and so that we can have considerable projects that will move forward in the field of energy, in terms of electricity grids, renewable energy, something which affects all of the countries who are present here today. Now, as it relates to the reform of the international financial architecture, we had a session which enabled us to move forward with the shared declaration on the financial architecture and a call to action that we will present at the G7 in a few months, and President Rutte will be there with me. So this must be led by captains of industry and leaders. We must work on geopolitical instability. We also need to ensure that we harness raw materials on the African continent. I think that all of the heads of state and government are aware of this. We need to lay the foundations of a shared response. So we need to ensure that there is greater responsibility of global economies to correct global imbalances. We must also affirm a strong ambition in a declaration and action plan, and to build an African structure which is more integrated, more effective and more sovereign. This requires a change in methodology. We must also trust African stakeholders, strengthen the existing instruments and better coordinate them. In this respect, we have given a mandate to the African Development Bank to be the key stakeholder of this architecture and to develop based on an existing instrument whose headquarters is here in Nairobi, ATD, to ensure that we have an instrument which provides financial guarantees to enable investors right across the globe, African and non-African, to invest further in the continent. On this point, as I said, France will provide capital to ATD, and we will engage together so that within the African Development Bank, all African states who aren't around the table today will join us, and then together we will discuss this with the great economies of the world during G7 to bring about guarantees. As it relates to peace and security, we have a joint document, a final declaration, and we affirmed something that has been forgotten for too long. African solutions must be at the heart of African crises. The tools exist. We have regional frameworks, and we must support these fully. France will step up to the plate and will be a solid partner, and we will reaffirm our determination for sustainable political solutions in the Great Lakes region and in Sudan, because there is no development without stability. Our declaration reaffirmed that cannot be sustainable peace in Africa without the absolute respect of sovereignty. We must do away with external interference, and we must do away with the privatization of security. And we also have collectively mobilized, and this is in our declaration, there is support for all members. Thank you to the Prime Minister that raised this around the table earlier on, so that we may support this initiative which seeks to do away with the abusive use of the veto at the UN Security Council. These are strong initiatives, and this message, I will take it to the headquarters of the African Union, where I will have a bilateral meeting with the President of